I got a major like Johnson, whoa, to still when I block him. James Worthy can't stop him. I think they run out of oxygen. Come down my lane and we boxing you out. Been ballin', better watch your mouth. A lot of people who know what we about. Like Jerry Whistle, go see me around. JDMC might be king of the town.
Yo, what up, it's your boy JDMC, guys. We are back with a new video. Guys, trade deadline was actually pretty lit. I'm satisfied with it. Even though the Lakers didn't make any moves, and I think we sort of could have or should have, didn't pan out, but that's okay. What we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to go through all the trades, all the updates, anything you might have missed. Don't worry, I'll catch you up in this video, and also some information on All-Star and some stuff like that. So let's just jump straight into it. What I'm going to do with these trades is I'm going to rate them. I'm going to say who I think won and who I think lost. So make sure to drop a comment down below what your favorite trade was, and let's just jump straight into this. So we'll quickly sort of skim past these ones because these have been announced for a few days now, and I think I talked about this in a previous video. But yeah, I think for this one with Bledsoe, Winslow, and then Clippers getting Norman Powell and Covington. Covington's on an expiring contract, but Norman Powell, I think the Clippers win this. But you could also say the Blazers won because they cleared that cap, but I give the Clippers a dub on this one. Then this one's interesting. I don't think I talked about this yet. But the Pelicans get CJ McCollum. And the Blazers get Josh Hart, Alexander Walker, who I think they've moved, but we'll get into that soon. And yeah, draft picks and blah, blah, blah. I think the Pelicans win this. Obviously, defensively, when Zion's back, they're not going to be that great, like with Graham and then CJ. But offensively, this team has a lot of potential. They've got that veteran guard now who's a bucket. And to put around their pieces with Valanciunas, Zion, Ingram, and Devontae Graham. I really like how the Pelicans are looking moving forward, so I'll give the Pelicans a dub on this one. Then this is an interesting one. Initially, guys, I thought that the Pacers won this trade because they got Buddy Hield, Harden-Ben, and they did give up Sabonis, who was their all-star. But I know the Kings fans are a bit mad because I think they wanted to move on from Fox and let Harden-Ben sort of run the point and, like, you know, be that corner piece. They ended up getting Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb. I like Sabonis on that team. Didn't he get like 22 in his first game? So initially, I thought the Pacers won this, which they probably did, but I might give it to the Kings, even though the Kings suck and they'll probably still be a 12th seed or 14th seed. Because I heard the Pacers might be trying to move Buddy Hield, but yeah, they obviously didn't before the deadline. But yeah, initially I'll give it to the Pacers, but I'm honestly going to give it to the Kings, but the Kings suck, so we'll see how that unfolds. And then this one is big. This one's huge for the Cavs. They gave up Rubio, a lottery pick, a lottery protected 2022 first round pick and 2 second round picks for Indiana for Caris LeVert. The Cavs get Caris LeVert. Reunite him with Jarrett Allen. That's a dub for the Cavs. Big dub for the Cavs. This one as well. This is when things started kicking off a bit. I think this was last night. Depending when you're watching this. The Pistons get Marvin Bagley. Clippers get Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye. Bucks get Serge. And then the Kings get Dante, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles. I don't really know who won this too much. I think it's nice for the Bucks to get Serge Ibaka as that backup big, especially when we don't know when Lopez is going to be back and how effective he'll be. You know, Serge is someone who can stretch the floor decently enough for Giannis. Clippers, I feel like Clippers got the butt end of this trade, but I feel like they cleared up a bit of room and a bit of space doing so. And then Pistons get opportunity with Marvin Bagley, like to maybe show his potential if he's still got it. Jeremy Grant's still in the way and he's still sort of in his position, but we'll see how that goes. I think the Kings just added a few nice pieces. I like Dante, so yeah, I think that's a nice little pickup for the Kings, I guess. And then this one is also interesting. So the Spurs receive Goran Dragic and a first round pick, and the Raptors get rid of Dragic's contract, and they get Thaddeus Young, Drew Eubanks, and a second round pick. I think you could say it goes either way. I do think the Raptors won this trade because even though they gave up a first round pick, which is big, they got rid of Gordon's contract, and it looks like the Spurs might buy him out, and then he can go on the market, but we'll have to see how that unfolds. I haven't heard too much about that or read too much into that. Another breaking trade, so Magic get Bol, Dozier, and 2 second round pick. Just a second round pick in cash, and then the Celtics get a second round pick. I think for the Celtics, they're just clearing out a bit of room with this. They get a pick back, sort of to replace the pick they gave up. So yeah, obviously Bol is a fan favorite. We get to see him sort of achieve what his expectations. We've had some flashes in the Nuggets, but yeah, I'm rooting for him. Maybe in the Magic with that younger team, younger core, he can sort of get some more playing time and get those opportunities. So Bol, we're rooting for you, bruh. Next one here, what do we got? This is a big one, guys. This is a big one. The Nets get Ben Simmons. Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and two first-round picks. The Sixers get James Harden and Paul Millsap. Honestly, guys, going into this trade with all these rumors, I thought it was going to be a dub for the Sixers. The Nets sort of started asking for like quite a lot with them. They started asking for Thibault and stuff, and obviously the Sixers came out and said like Maxey and Thibault aren't available, or definitely Maxey. So I would have assumed the Sixers would have won this trade getting James Harden next to Joel Embiid. But I honestly think the Nets might have won it, guys. Like, yeah, Kyrie's part-time, but if they can figure something out with that, you've got KD and then Ben Simmons on that team, plus Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, who could start over like Aldridge now, and 2 first-round picks. I like that for the Nets. I really like that for the Nets. I'm really interested to see both of these teams play. I think this trade's going to change the league a bit. Not dramatically. We've still got the Warriors and the Suns and Bulls out there, but for the Nets and the Sixers, yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Hopefully we can see Ben Simmons on the court like soon. I know they've like mentioned that like 1 month thing once he gets traded or whatnot. And I feel like James Harden's just going to go straight to Philly and pull up and ball out. So hopefully, I love Joel Embiid. I'm hoping James Harden and Joel Embiid can work and they can make some noise. I'm also rooting for Ben Simmons, and I really like this fit with him and KD and Kyrie and the shooters with Seth Curry and Joe Harris around them. Bruh. And then they've got Andre Drummond and LaMarcus Aldridge as these 2 centers. We're not even mentioning Claxton. Bruce Brown's still a nice little defender. This Nets team, bruh. If Kyrie can be full-time and they can all get on that court and not be playing these like young bucks, it's going to be scary, boys. Scary hours. But moving on, we've got the Celtics get Derek White, the Spurs get Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and a first-round pick. I didn't see the first-round pick. So yeah, I think it's nice for the Celtics to get more of a pure shooter. They lose a bit of defense of Richardson. Romeo Langford didn't get too much time. He was sort of like a 12th man. But a first-round pick, they had to give up to do it. I'd say you could go either way. I'd say the Celtics probably won this, but you could also say the Spurs won it because of that first-round pick. So yeah, I'm not too fussed if you want to say whoever won that. But shout out to the Celtics for getting Derek White. And then this was buzzy. So Montrezl Harrell finally gets on the Hornets. Guys, remember he took the pay cut to come to the Lakers. He got like offered 60 mil or something. I'm pretty sure that's factual. He got offered like 60 mil to go to the Hornets, but he took that 2-year deal to come to... Or did he decline it? I don't know. Anyway, there was talks about him going to the Hornets in the past. So the Wizards have just like thrown him away. So the Wizards get Ish Smith, Vernon Carey, and a 2nd-round pick. And the Hornets get Montrezl Harrell. I think Montrezl Harrell is going to thrive in that Hornets team and that Hornets system and the way they play. I really think like him and Miles Plumlee is sort of that 1-2 punch. I reckon it's going to be quite nice for them. I really like Montrezl Harrell still. I'm rooting for Bro, so it's going to be cool to see him for the Hornets with Melo. And then this was interesting. This came out of nowhere. Like obviously all of these came out of nowhere. We obviously knew it was a deadline, but I wasn't expecting the Wizards to sort of, move Harrell and Dinwiddie. So the Mavs get Dinwiddie and Bertans, and the Wizards get Porzingis and a 2nd-round pick. See, for me, I think the Wizards maybe won this. Because Porzingis next to Kuzma, KCP, Beal, I think it's pretty nice. And then Spencer Dinwiddie hasn't really shown, obviously he's coming back from the injury, but he hasn't really shown that he's still that great. Like, he'll get a couple 20-point games here and there, but yeah, it's going to be interesting with Dinwiddie and Luka. And they've still got like Brunson and stuff like that, so that's going to be interesting. I'd say the Wizards won this, but we'll have to see. But judging by this, I'm going to say the Wizards won this trade definitely. And then another one, we knew Schroeder was going to go, but he's gone to the Rockets, and the Celtics got Daniel Tice back. I don't really know who won this. I think it's nice for the Rockets. Schroeder's probably going to have to be a backup for like Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. because they sort of play the 1 and 2. So it could be a dub for them if Schroeder's effective off the bench for them, or it could be a dub for the Celtics to get Tice back. But I'll probably honestly say it's more of a dub for the Rockets because now the Celtics really don't have a point guard. But the way they've been playing, they sort of don't need it too much the way they share it around. So we'll see how it unfolds. But this one was very interesting to me. I knew the Celtics were going to try to get rid of Schroeder, but I didn't know they'd get like a big back for him, if you know what I'm saying. And then I just added this in just to shame me. But the 26th and 39th place Lakers and the 24 and 31 12th place New York Knicks did not make a trade at the 2022 deadline. And they were the teams that were getting talked about a lot. Obviously, we made THT and none available, but I just think we didn't get offered or accepted for a good enough return. So Yeah, and with the Knicks, I'm surprised there's a lot of noise about Reddish maybe getting moved again, or there's a lot of noise about Alex Burks or Kemba getting moved. So it's interesting to see them not pull the plug on a trade, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. I'm down bad sore as a Lakers fan, so we're just going to have to grind it out of this core we've got. Maybe the buyout market has something, but I really don't think it's going to be anything to help us. The Brooklyn Nets after ice. This is a Brooklyn Nets, so just look at that, guys. Just look at that, and then read the names at the bottom. I won't break it down. You guys can see it. You guys can see it. That's tough. That's tough. And then I've added the Sixers one as well. Do you think James Harden's going to be the start point guard and they'll bring Maxey off the bench? And then maybe start like Thibault and Green? Who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm really intrigued. I'm really intrigued for the Sixers team. They've still got Tobias Harris as well. So we'll have to see how this goes. I do think Steph Curry's a big loss though. That to get James Harden, you've got to make that sacrifice, but Steph Curry is a loss. Alright, and this is the All-Star teams. Like, I won't read through all the names. You guys have probably seen all of it and seen the draft and stuff, but yeah, I like LeBron's team, bro. Like, obviously, I'm a LeBron fanboy. I think LeBron's got the better team. I think KD's got the cooler team, because I love Ja Morant, I love Joel Embiid, I love LaMelo Ball, Zach LaVine and stuff, so it's cool that Durant's got them. But LeBron's got LeBron, Curry, Giannis, and Joker. Just those four there is crazy. And guys, it was so funny when KD didn't pick Harden. That was the greatest draft we've seen so far. So shout out to those two, man. But yeah, you guys have probably seen all that, so we'll move on. The Utah Jazz, and I think this is just some little more like side notes that some stuff you might have slipped past. So the Utah Jazz are acquiring guard. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. They're getting Alexander Walker's going to the Jazz, and then the Spurs get Hernan Gomez in a 3-way deal. The Spurs and this wait, and the Spurs get in a 3-way deal. Spurs get guard that Thomas Santuransky dude as well in a 2nd round pick. And then the Blazers get Joe Ingles, Hughes, and a 2nd round pick. So obviously Ingles is out for the year, but who knows what the Blazers are doing, man. They're trying to rebuild or rebuild or restock around Lillard. It seems like they're trying to restock around Lillard, but I don't think they're going to have much success in free agency. Sorry, Blazers fans, but I really don't think you're going to have much success in free agency. I think the trades were the way to go, and you've sort of already traded all your pieces. And then a part of the deal, Sixers start. So this is big. So Harden, and I think this is where those 1st round picks come into play, why the Sixers had to do the most, because Harden has said that he's opting into his contract for next season. So they don't just have him for this year with hope to re-sign him. He is going to opt into that 2nd year contract for $47 million. So they're definitely going to have this year with Harden and run it next year. So I think that's more your reassurance and more security for them in terms of that deal and moving Ben Simmons finally. And the Pacers are finalizing a trade to send forward Tony Gregg back to the Suns for Jalen Smith and a 2nd round pick. I think you could say maybe the Pacers won this. I think like this, the Suns, it just makes sense. I've just added another 3-and-D wing defender for the bench, and he's played for them before, so he'll fit right back in. But I think for the Pacers, they get Jalen Smith. He's been showing a lot of upside, a lot of potential, and to get a little 2nd round pick, that's nice. And then the Wizards are trading Aaron Holiday to Phoenix. Don't know what for, hasn't put it there. And Jeremy Grant remains with Detroit Pistons, yeah, like I mentioned before. But it does say Grant and the Pistons have comfortably with each other moving forward. Have comfortably. Guys, I'm done. Anyway, let's move on. I think that's all of it, guys. Yeah, that's all of it. Make sure to drop a comment what your guys' favorite trade was, what you think the biggest move was. Obviously, the Nets and the Sixers one was the biggest trade, but yeah, let me know your guys' opinions. Drop a comment, man. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're not yet. Road to 2K. I appreciate you. Stay safe out there. Most importantly, it's a cold, hard world. I'll catch you later and peace.